The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Aereo, the best place to grow and manage your real estate media business. Online at aereo.com. That's ARYEO.com. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio at Palms in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket Media. And Mark Corcoran, once again, in Las Vegas.
Oh, baby. In the suite.
In the suite, the Upmarket Suite. We were hooked up. We are at PMRE, and Brandon Cooper, the man, hooked us up with the recording suite where we're recording, once again, our action item spectacular episode. Unfortunately, Chelsea not here. It's a little unfortunate, but
someone's got to keep running.
Someone's
got
to hold it. Yeah. So Chelsea and Marco are back in Ventura County, holding it down for us. But you know what? We do have Nikki Basher, who's
we're lucky to have her.
Who's not on a mic, but she's here. She's been on the podcast. You guys know her. One of our shooters, and she's out here experiencing this for the first time and giving us some tech support on the podcast. Thank you, Nikki. So happy to be here with you. And we are here at the new venue, the Palms. It's pretty sweet.
Like, PMRE 2.0, right?
Oh, for sure. And already, so we are recording the bulk of this episode on Monday and Tuesday, before PMRE actually starts. But already, man, it's just been so fun seeing so many people that we've gotten to know over the last few years. And, already sharing insights and helping, learning things to build our business.
Everyone's feeling re-energized and just like ready to get into it.
Yeah. And, a lot of drinking.
Yes.
So we have a full bar here at the Upmarket Suite. So this is
not messing this year.
No, we are not messing around at all. And then, all year we've been, since March or April, we have been doing these PMRE Road to PMRE episodes, and we've been in partnership with iGuide on these. And that's been such a great partnership. And so I would really encourage everyone to go to goiguide.com and check out all the stuff that iGuide has to offer, including their new Planix R1 camera system, which was just announced, just launched. And you know what? Because they've given us money, but we also like them, we have let iGuide, a rep from iGuide, come on to give the first action item, to kick it off, to give an action item in the 2024 PMRE action item spectacular, and it is Chris White, the product marketing manager at iGuide.
Smooth. That was really well done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me back.
Of course. Yeah. You gave an action item last year, and so you're back on this year. Let's kick this off in style, Chris. Give us I want your best action item of all time.
Okay, let's go for it. I think what we're seeing as a trend, something that's been occurring with all of the real estate photographers that we work with over the last year and a half. It's probably something that's come out of COVID. Maybe it's just a natural growth of the industry, but we're seeing people really engaging with what I would call adjacent services. So what that means is that people...
Like iGuide?
Maybe, potentially. I don't know, just saying. Right. But what I mean by that is that a lot of the content at PMRE is about `honing your craft, about making really great, amazing photographs, we'll say, or video, and then leveraging different technologies. But what we're seeing as a trend is people taking those technologies and exploring different industries, not full-time necessarily, but residential real estate is a seasonal business for most people, not everybody, obviously. So I come from the north, and it's very seasonal. It's very spring and fall, and then you're sitting on your hands. So what we're seeing is people really engaging with other relationships that they have and that they've made while they're shooting. So when someone's at a property and they're shooting a listing, they might meet a builder, a designer, an architect, an engineer. The list is endless. That is a really great opportunity to leverage the exact same materials that you make for real estate marketing purposes, we'll say, as a real estate photographer, for those people in different ways. Photographs are ubiquitous and useful for everyone, I think. And no one's going to disagree with me on that one, I hope. But that's one of those things that organically comes up, and we're seeing people take advantage of that more and more. It's always been there. We're just seeing it more and more now. So my hot take on this is that that's going to be more popular and that people should embrace that. You shouldn't shy away from that type of business.
Yeah. Helps to even out that seasonality, right?
100%, exactly. Even out the seasonality, get some work. Maybe that's a little different. It can be palette cleansing, which is really nice. And there's lots of different examples. So early on, there was the Google Street View sort of thing, people creating material for Google. I don't know if they really do that anymore, but that was a good example of it. Working with designers who are already on site. So you could have a stager there, while you're there shooting. You can work with them. They obviously appreciate photos. They're like a licensing opportunity from sometimes the same materials you're making the listing for. But then you're also going to just make connections with people sometimes, Someone on site might be there to do some design build. So at iGuide, we're leaning into this pretty heavily. We have been for the last few years with some of the CAD products they make. I won't get too salesy on it, but there are opportunities for any floor plan creation process or video or images to document any space. So something like a house that's going to be remodeled can take those floor plans and they can start designing on those floor plans in some cases. So that's an extra revenue stream that I don't think anyone should turn away. And we're seeing more people just take advantage of that.
Yeah. No, I think that's, oh man, I love revenue streams.
Right? Everybody loves revenue streams. That's delightful.
That's why we have a podcast. We got these revenue screens. Hey, so Krisse, thank you for that. And again, thank you for partnering with us this year. It's been fun.
I take full credit.
And you should. And because Skylar did most of the work, but
99%. But I was like there sometimes.
He's just a pretty face. Come on.
But you should get the credit. And no, the team at iGuide is great. It's been great working with Skylar, and we hope to kind of have more partnerships with you guys in the future. And thanks again. And so, because of your generosity with our podcast, we are able to have these PMRE episodes. And so, let's do it. We got a lot more people coming in to give some pretty amazing, hopefully, some pretty amazing.
We got some good ones lined up.
Yeah, I think so. So, all right. So let's kick it off. Hey, Mark, we kind of have an unofficial policy this year that we're not doing repeat people for action items.
Yeah.
And but I need to make an exception. And we actually made an exception earlier, but that's because it's a sponsor. But we're going to, and this is a sponsor technically too. But anyway, we got Brandon Cooper here of what Real Pix is your real thing. And that's in Fort McMurray, Alberta, Canada.
That's right.
Well, yeah, I know provinces.
You're struggling there, though. I can tell.
I just couldn't. I'm day drinking.
We've had a few Canadians on already, man. It's all blurring.
And of course, is also, but the man behind the PMRE conference. And Brandon, do you want to do an action item, or you just want to just say hi?
Well, I'll say hi, but you know what? I will. I'll literally, when I walked through the door, I had a thought of an action item because this is the perfect time. As real estate media creators, we get to a point where we don't want to let go of control, but we either have to try and scale, or we're going to be run ragged. And we're going to stay up till 2:00 in the morning, editing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Moving to the Palms to create what we really want PMRE to be.
Yeah.
Gave us no choice but to sort of relinquish control, put people in certain positions, hire an event team, work with the banquet staff, do all that stuff. So
have an official podcast.
Sure.
That was scary. Yeah.
Not going there, I'll tell you that much. But having a team and finally being able to give up a little bit of that control, focus on the things that I'm good at, pass off the things that I'm not good at, and get a bunch of good people around you. Not only does it work better, but it's way more fun, and you do such a much better job. So I think the action item would be, don't be afraid to relinquish some of that control. Make sure the people you put around you are amazing, and then trust them to do their job, because there's stuff going on right now. There's no chance I could have been sitting here like this last year.
Right.
There's not a second to spare.
We are like 4 hours from the pre-registration party, and it opens tomorrow. And you're sitting here. I mean, you look so relaxed. It's unbelievable.
He's got the hat backwards. He's Mr. Chill.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's actually fun now instead of it being stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's elements of stress.
You were super stressed. Yeah.
But now things are happening while I'm up here. I'm able to come and actually be a bit of a host and hang out with people for the first time, which is awesome. A ton of fun.
That's hard when you're a perfectionist, though, right? A control freak, and you're like, I got to see everything.
It is until you see the first few things that someone does, and it's way better than you could ever do. And they did it without being reminded, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can trust these people. Like the support.
It's life-changing,
It sounds kind of cliche, but I now understand how people are out there building bigger businesses. Before, I couldn't understand how the heck people were doing that and having business run without them sort of being at the wheel. And I'm getting a little taste of it now, and it's a lot of fun. And it's also going to benefit the event and the attendees and the sponsors and everyone that's involved.
All right.
on.
Well, thanks to all those people, and thanks to you for all the hard work you've done, and to us too. I mean, I feel like we've done a lot of work, promoting.
You get a lot of thanks, man. We thank you all the
time. But anyway, thank you, and it's obviously a fantastic event. The buzz is everyone's super excited about Palms, and it's a cool place. I mean, the suite, our recording suite that you kind of hooked us up with is amazing, and man, we're excited.
Awesome.
All right, thanks again.
Thanks you guys for being here again. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Mark, we got some people from Kentucky here. Ooh, I'm loving it. So we have Rick and Amber Rickerson of Pending Media in Lexington, Kentucky. Who wants to go first? We got a couple of good action items. I know it.
Well, we've been doing this for almost 2 years now.
Oh, you're kind of rookies.
We are kind of rookies. But the fact that we came from a wedding and portrait background.
Okay.
And we were wedding portrait photographers for almost 30 years.
Wow. Okay.
So we've shot weddings all over the United States, Europe, Jamaica.
Wow.
So we brought a different perspective to real estate photography. I'm just too old to chase around drunk cats at a wedding. So one of the things I brought into real estate photography is working with the realtors to help them sell the emotion of a house. Because buying a house is very emotional.
Okay.
When they walk through the front door, any photographer can shoot the front door shot. What do you see?
Yeah.
But did you look up? Is there a beautiful chandelier? Is there a stairwell? Is there something that overlooks that these prospective buyers, that's going to be the first thing they see when they walk through that door? Can they see kids, their grandkids, whoever, looking over that balcony? Can they see maybe that chandelier?
Prom pictures on the stairs.
Exactly. Things that's going to bring the emotion to our images to make people go, oh, I could live here.
Okay.
But applying that to your business is relationship is everything. So if you do one thing a week, it's nurture a relationship. Just one person, one brokerage, one realtor, do something special for that person. And it doesn't have to be anything big. We started out giving gift cards to like $5 to Starbucks. If somebody was having a bad day, we show up with $5 for Starbucks. Or he'll text him and say, hey, what's your Starbucks order for today? Because I got 10 minutes because I'm going to sit here. And it's those little extra things that you can do that they say, oh, these are not just people who want our money. They want to invest in our business.
And actually care about us, right?
Yeah, over Halloween, we put together little treat bags. They had a power bank for their phones and chocolate. And so when we meet
Trick or
with
treat for the realtors.
Here you go. Hey, everybody needs a little energy for your phone, and here's chocolate for you.
Nice.
It was a power up.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us come into real estate photography as kind of introverts and not wanting to interact with people. Oh, let me go shoot a house because I can operate my camera and do that.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
But you guys come the opposite way from shooting people, having those relationships, having those skills. So
yeah, my wife can tell you, I can talk to a brick wall.
Absolutely.
I've noticed.
Yeah, that's not
He's
an issue.
extremely introverted, can you tell?
But if you develop those relationships with the realtor, they're going to remember that. Literally, one of my favorite things is, when they say thank you, this was great. I said, I like to be tipped in bourbon and Google reviews. That is always, it makes them smile, and then they think, okay, let me jump online and do that real quick. Or, next time we meet up, they've got a bottle of bourbon, which is really nice.
Yeah, no, it works out. Yeah, nice. I love making those little jokes where you're actually serious.
Yes, absolutely.
And then someone will take the hint sometime. And
you say JK, but you're not really JK.
Yeah, that's memorable, right?
Exactly. All right, well, thank you so much. That was your action item, right?
No,
it wasn't.
No, that's his.
He's
got his own opinions.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. Now, Amber, go for yours, because you just came right in there, and it was a nice twist on it, so I thought it was your action item.
So for me, action item, if you can do one thing for your business, it is document your processes, but document your problems. Because your problems are where you find exactly what your clients want. Because if one client has told you something that irritates them about your business, about your processes, guarantee you there's 10 more out there that won't tell you, and there's 20 more who are mildly annoyed by it, and there are 30 that have yet to experience it. So if you document this problem, and as soon as you see it happen a third time, it's time to fix it. So if you don't have it documented, you can't remember all of this stuff on your own as a small business owner. You have to write it down.
Do you have an example for that for our business?
Yes, I think so. We had a client, they were having trouble with booking, and this booking process for them became very cumbersome because they wanted something that was a bigger package, but the bigger packages, the way they were laid out and presented to them, were all the way at the bottom, and they wouldn't take 3 minutes to scroll up to find the package that they wanted at the bottom. So they were constantly underbooking themselves. They would book the 24 photos. They get there with a half an hour to shoot the 24 images. Oh no, I need to add video and I need to add an agent intro and I need to add this. Well, that puts their whole schedule an hour and a half off.
Sure.
So it was a simple thing of seeing that happen with that one and then seeing it happen again when they booked a package that wasn't correct and it had Matterport in it. They didn't want Matterport. They wanted a nice video. So we said, okay, we need to look at, it's now happened 3 times with 3 different agents. We need to look at how our things are laid out inside of our booking online process. And we flipped it upside down. So we took the lowest end and put it at the bottom and took the higher end and put it at the top.
That's, we did that pretty quick too.
Yes, and I mean, it seems a very elementary thing to do, but it's a small thing that just constantly reevaluating. Is this providing the best possible user experience for my client? Put yourself in their shoes.
Nice. I like it.
Jeez.
So good.
That's good. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. And let's party it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Mark, I'm excited for this. We got 2 people here. So we got Aeon Jones of Avia Media Group in Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, the shortest commute of anybody here for the conference. And Angie Lombardi of Angie Lombardi Photo in Seaside, New Jersey. So Aeon, I feel like you're eager. I feel like you have some action.
I'm chomping at the bit.
Yeah, okay, you're good.
Let him unleash him.
Yeah, so all right, hit me with it. What do you got?
All right, the action item I have is for social media.
Oh, okay, all right.
Make what not to do videos. So, for example, like this is something that you can use to connect with your realtors and also educate them because we know they all need education.
Sure.
Like, you know this more than most.
Of course. Yes.
Like, for example, do not order drone shoots on trash day. Do not schedule us the same day as cleaners. Make those videos. You can make them humorous. You can make educational. Right. I would do that on social media to educate your clientele and also hopefully let them think about what they're doing.
Well, yeah, because I would always say, hey, do you know when a trash day is in a certain neighborhood? It's the damn shooting.
The trash truck just follows us around.
Yeah, exactly. Always. And especially for drone. I mean, but it's also bad when you're not even doing drone photos and you just have to either the agent's there or not there and then you got to move the damn trash cans even for ground shots. So,
Yeah. And you got to move both neighbors.
Yeah. I hate trash day.
Yeah. But in the drone, you're going to pick up the entire street.
Everyone.
So,
absolutely. I've erased so many of those damn trash cans in my day. But before we outsourced editing.
Yeah, I like that's an interesting spin though. We're always looking to educate our clients, but it's like telling them what not to do is kind of, you can have a little humor with it and have fun with it.
Yeah. And you can totally make it like satirical. I think it's possible.
All right. I think that's great. So Angie, you got one?
Mine is vacation rentals and going for the experience, is making it what people want. Pull out those details.
Nice.
Is that a lot of your business, shooting vacation rentals, or
that's more of my business? Okay. I shoot a lot of commercial work, so I don't just do this real estate but the vacation rentals have really come up, and I've kind of starting to explode with them, which is good. I live on a barrier island. There's the ocean on one side, 2 blocks this way is a bay, and I actually live where that roller coaster went in the water during Superstorm Sandy.
Yeah.
So I live there. Everything is getting rebuilt. So for me, it's all the vacation rentals.
Right.
And I just did one that the experience is crazy with the artwork on the walls and just when you walk in and just a mood and everything.
Well, and when you're doing vacation rentals, do you charge a different rate than you do for residential real estate? Yeah. So what, is it 2x, 3x? What are you doing in terms of how much more you're
dollar
charging?
amount? It's 2 times.
2 times, yeah. Okay.
The best way to tell them too is it's less than 1 night stay.
Sure.
And the value you're going to get from this is
you got those photos
crazy.
for years to come, right?
Yes.
Things change, but you got that core bunch of photos for years.
Well, and we always just have our residential real estate photos price posted on our website. So when vacation rental people see it, they're like, oh, and then they call and then we're like, no, that's not the rate. And then they're like, whoa, what? That's what it says on there. But the way we've talked about it is we say, when we shoot residential real estate, the license for those photos is basically usually for a month. It's until that property sells. But what we do is we charge double the price, but we give you a 5-year license. And so that's how we frame it as a value proposition. So what they're getting as a value. So that's worked for us too.
And the 5-year is a good span of time.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Because they'll use it, but then even after 5 years, they'll need to reshoot anyway, because it's at that point, it's new furniture, it's this, it's that's the other thing.
Yes.
And hopefully the roller coaster fell in the ocean.
Yeah.
They got to reshoot.
They got to redo.
New drone photos.
You're going to wreck the place.
Yeah, exactly.
And every year people are changing things and they're calling back and they want, the drone, they want the reel. Walk through and do the reel, and
or if you live somewhere
teasers.
seasonal, they want snow photos and fall photos, and they want all this stuff.
Do you
right?
have a lot of Airbnb clients who order reels?
Yes,
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
because they're teasers.
Right.
Come
And they
on
put
in.
them on probably on their social media, because you can't really put them on the platforms. like
Exactly what I was
Airbnb,
asking.
right?
No,
Yeah.
but lots of these use Facebook.
Right.
There's Facebook groups all over to get vacation rental photos. And a big way I've done it too is I've private messaged the people, hey, you have a great place. If you ever want professional photos,
Nice.
give me a shout. Let's talk.
Right.
It's been great.
Oh, that's great. Great tips. Thank you both for coming up to
you,
the
guys.
Upmarket Suite.
Thank you. This was fun.
All
Yeah, it was fun to have you guys
here. Cool. All
Yeah.
right.
Thanks.
All right. We got Chris Saldivar of Tea Tree Productions in Los Angeles, California. Pretty close to Upmarket Media. Yeah, well, not quite competitors. Neighbors,
No,
not competitors. Neighbors. And
We've offered to help each other a couple times. But
it never
Nothing's
worked out.
ever
But
worked
yeah,
out.
it's fine. But that's fine. And then we got Matthew Lesperance of Lecker Studios in Secaucus, New Jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah. So good.
That's
Pretty much nailed it.
I love it. So I'm gonna let the local boy go first, because I want to hear some California stuff. So Chris, hit me with an action item.
Don't be afraid to say no.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I should have said no today.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say,
I-
are you talking to
No,
yourself?
no. I have a long story.
No.
that
I heard
don't
it.
wanna
No, and I think this is instructive. I think I know what happened, and I'll let you tell it. But I want to preface it by saying you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and tell
Happens
what
in Vegas,
happened.
goes to LA, I guess.
Yeah.
Was out here the last 2 days for the conference and had a shoot.
So we're recording this particular segment on Tuesday night at the conference. Wednesday is when the conference actually starts, and then there's been workshops the last couple of days.
Correct.
Right,
So I
okay.
flew in 2 days ago on Sunday.
Okay.
Did a workshop yesterday and had a booking today that my team couldn't handle.
Right.
So I flew home this morning from Vegas back to Long Beach, drove to LA, shot the property, went back to Long Beach, and flew back to Vegas tonight. Same day.
Okay,
That's awesome.
All right, I have some comments.
Yeah. I mean, it was a $2,000 shoot. I had to take it.
You had to? I mean, I don't know, man. That's like the
Yeah.
work-life balancing.
They were like,
so
we
what
could-
would have happened if you hadn't done it? Would they have gone
They
with
would have
someone
pushed.
else?
No, they would have pushed it, but they wanted to push it to Friday, which I'm already booked up as well.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I mean, and we're struggling with it too, right?
Yeah.
Because we brought Nikki with us this year, so we
Right.
only have one shooter on the ground, and
Yep.
he's full up this week. And occasionally we've gone in years past, and it's been like 2 shoots in a week,
Right.
Because it's November. But then this year, it's crazy.
busy.
Everything
Yeah.
blew up.
Yeah.
It's
Weird.
crazy. But it just goes to show what we've kind of talked about on this podcast so much is like we're dealing with all these insane people with all these insane deadlines.
Yep.
And even because you scaled, right? It's not just you're not a solo
No,
shooter.
I have 3 shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so even then you can't handle it, and then you're fucking flying back.
Right.
From your conference, from
Correct.
the time when you're supposed to be here, like
Present and networking and
exactly.
So learn to say no is the
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's-
you
You're
did
talking to
you feel
yourself,
like you
right?
should have said no.
no. not in this instance.
What are we
I like
saying
the
no
money
to
too
then?
much.
If we're not saying no to that,
Just
what are we saying
the
no to?
clients that like obviously like they pay you and they use their media and they download it and they're like, but they're just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like there's something that just
Yeah, it was most of them.
right.
Yeah.
Right. But there's
Well,
some
some
where
of them,
you
yeah,
continue
yeah.
to go back to and they continue to come back and book.
Treat you like shit and
and
whatever.
treat you like, and it's like, no. Like at the end of the day, no. And there's like a few that I've talked to Noel Kleinman in LA about, and it's him and I, same market.
Yeah.
Don't work with her. Don't work with her. Cool.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not work with
Okay.
her. You know?
Yeah. Well, and there's in a market as big as LA, you
Right.
can really turn down people.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we're in smaller markets, you're like, oh shit. Like there's a realtor that I refuse to work with in Ojai where I live, and but we're a town of depending on what you're counting, like between 10 and 20,000 people, right? And so when you don't work with the biggest agent in town because, she's completely unprofessional and bitches you out on a shoot,
right.
I mean, that affects you, so, because there's no one to replace that,
right. Right.
So, but thankfully, we have other areas where we can shoot, but it does go to show and here's the thing, like, because you live so close, you were able to go make a couple grand and it actually pays for all your PMRE stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of how I looked at it.
Yeah. So
got to see your family again.
Got to see the fam and
checked in, checked out.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
got some more cash out of the safe, and we're gonna go hit the tables tonight.
All right, perfect. So Matthew, hopefully your action item you actually put into play for yourself because Chris doesn't. He just he talks the talk but doesn't walk the walk.
So I have two action items. They're interrelated.
The double. Okay, all right.
So the first one is as we deal with real estate, read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. That book you might think is kind of, to understand the mentality of a quality realtor, that is the perfect book for it. Within that book, which leads to the second action item, is they have, in that book, there's 5 pillars. One of the main pillars is leverage. Be the leverage for your agents. Be the dream leverage for your agents. And I recommend creating a welcome video for your agents to give to their clients, how to prep the house, how to be the best you can be, just so you look professional and the agent looks professional. They can add it to their listing presentation. They can do it.
That's a step up from like just here's a shoot guideline, a PDF.
Exactly.
That's like
the
next
welcome
level,
video.
Because I mean, if you think about it, videos are king right now.
Do you have a video?
I do.
Nice.
Yes.
I see those guys. We have an audience here, and those guys are just like I saw their eyes just go. Whoa.
Yeah.
This guy's next level.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you don't want to just be an extension of the company. You want to be part of the company because they're not going to go anywhere else if you are part of their listing presentation. They can't go anywhere else. Right.
They've already sold you as part of their package. Yeah.
So make them. You pretty much handcuff them. And you can charge them. I don't want to say anything you want, but you can get.
We had someone else on, and they use the term "sticky." Make your clients sticky, like they're sticky. They're stuck to you at that point.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah,
and it's
like
they trust you with their business, so make it work.
All right, let's see this video.
Reed is speechless. He's
I'm not
"Whoa."
speechless. I don't like learning things, and so I feel like I learned too many things on this. But no, those are great, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate you both.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, thank
you. Nice work, guys.
All right. Mark, we've been coming to PMRE for a few years now, and I think one of our favorite dudes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm serious here. I don't want to blow smoke up this guy's ass, but
I don't want to see that.
No. You just make me blush. No, but we've always had a great time, and a smart guy. And I know we've reached out to him for help with some of our technical stuff, and he's always open, always willing to help. And it's Kam Radz of Lux Point Media in Chicago, Illinois. Kam. You're a longtime friend, longtime listener to the show. Tell us your action item.
Absolutely. I would say don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Just coming out to PMRE, we're all here for a reason. We're all here to network, invest into new skills. You guys kind of taught me this as well 3 years ago. Absolutely. Okay. 3 years ago when I was starting my business, I didn't have any relationship with any real estate media companies. I only knew 3 realtors, and I was always looking for resources out there. And you guys came up, so this is kind of like a thank you as well for you guys because it's a kind of a full circle moment. I was listening to your guys' podcast. You guys helped me so much in my business, and I'll always be there for you guys if you guys need any help from me in the future. But
wow, right on, man.
But yeah, no, I'm grateful to be here. To be on the podcast with you guys. But yeah,
we're glad to have you on, man.
Well, so can you elaborate on your actual action item though?
I think it's very important that you take in all the information, but you actually act on all the information that you guys are given here, because what is, any information that you're taking in and not actually putting into action yourself. So, it's kind of an action item against your guys' action items, actually try the things that, they talk about here because they work.
Yeah.
They
It was good
work.
because I think it's easy to just listen and then that was interesting. And then you
Absolutely.
never do anything. I mean, that's how I operate,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Like, that's a great idea. Yeah.
I got to do that. Yeah. And then never do it. Right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And of course, and especially in a show like this episode where we have so many people coming on, giving different action items, you're not going to be able to do everything and incorporate everything, but choose the ones I think that resonate with you and put them in action. And I know we've already heard a few that I know we're going to be working on.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
We always take stuff back with us. It's awesome.
For sure. For sure. Cam, buddy.
You guys
thanks,
are the
man.
best at
Appreciate
it.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate
Love
it.
having you on, man.
Mark,
Read.
this is exciting.
This is a good one.
We got Jenn Lueck of Jenn Lueck Photo in Prescott, Arizona. Jen, hit me with an action item.
So my action item has to do with work-life balance.
Oh, that's one of our favorite topics.
Mental health.
Oh, I'm on a mental
Because-
health journey. So
Yes.
this will be good.
Everybody
Yes.
should be. My action item is to delegate out your tasks so that you have time for your work-life balance. So for me, that looks like having an admin and a second shooter, bookkeeper, editor, all of the things basically that allow me to have my me time and my family time. So in the morning when my admin is uploading and naming and arranging, I have my time to go to the gym, which keeps me sane, or running, or any of those kinds of things.
Okay. Now here's what's interesting about that to me is because I met you last year.
Yes.
At PMRE.
Yes.
And you didn't even have your own business.
Nope.
You worked for another company as a real estate photographer. And then we talked on the phone over the summer, right before, was it the summer or spring or something?
It was spring, right before I was thinking about going out on my own. I called you.
And so you were going, so you decided to go out on your own. And so that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And so you've
Almost exactly.
So you already have an admin, a second shooter, a book. I mean, you have all this stuff already.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Took us like years and years to get there. You're just like,
Well,
boom.
thank you. I got good advice.
Good.
One of the things.
That's right. I did. I said
you did.
because you were like, I got to hire a second shooter. I was like, no, hire an admin. Is that what I said?
You
Yeah.
told me to think about the things that I wanted to do with my business, what I enjoyed doing the most, and hire out the
Delegate
things
the
that
rest.
I didn't want to do.
Oh, that sounds like good
That's
advice.
pretty genius.
It was. You told me to start where I wanted to end up.
Wow.
So that is, it was kind of scary and a bit of a risk, but I just hired everybody from the start, and it's been amazing. It's gone really, really good.
Oh,
That's so great because this
Man.
business can just take over your life if you let it, right?
Yes.
It just kind of consumes every minute of every day.
Big time,
Yeah.
big time. And it's still busy. I mean, starting a business takes a lot of work no matter what you do,
Right.
no matter how many people you have helping, but definitely having people that I trust was huge. Having a good foundation and having them to help me and keep me on track has allowed me to put my focus where I think it needs to be so that I can continue to grow.
okay. Well, what are your ambitions then?
Ooh, that is a good question. I don't know. I could see myself going a couple different ways. I think I wanted to start this first year pretty much on the same path that I'm on, and then potentially look at next year expanding into a couple of the surrounding areas where we're at. It's very spread out. So driving to all those locations, just it eats up your
kills you.
time and
Yeah, it eats up your day, yeah.
it kills your car. So potentially bringing somebody on over in one of those territories because I get a lot of requests for that. And I don't want to drive over there. So
Are
that's
you talking
on my
like
radar.
Sedona?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That'd be a fun place to shoot.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's where I started with real estate photography was in Sedona. So,
that's so cool.
I love it, but it's about an hour and a half drive.
Yeah.
That's a day killer.
That's tough. That's tough.
Big time.
And you can never like group them all in one day.
No.
It's always like, oh no, I know you're going to be here Tuesday and 2 other shoots, but it has to be Wednesday.
Theoretically, you think you can do it all in one day.
Yeah, it's
and you
theoretically,
can to a certain extent. If they want you, they'll wait. But they still have their agendas and their timelines that they have to meet.
Yeah.
And even if they are willing to wait, I'm not really willing to drive. So,
All right.
You're out of luck.
Yeah.
All right. I love
Yeah.
it. All right, Jen, thank you very much for coming up and doing
Well,
that.
thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. Mark, I mean, we love all our sponsors, but I think we have a little special place in our heart for this one, and it's Second Floor App, and Adam Housley's here. Adam, who is the owner, founder, I don't know, all these things about Second Floor app. Can you give us, I know we talk about it all the time, but we're numbskulls. So what, can you give us just the little elevator pitch on what Second Floor app is and how it can help real estate media professionals?
Yeah, so it's a quick app to scan a floor plan for a house. I think most people kind of know that by now. But the unique features is that we use AI to detect the features of the house in real time and build your floor plan right on your phone. So no sending it in for processing or anything like that. So you just get everything back right away.
Oh, so the instant part is AI based. See, I didn't know that. I've been talking about the instant thing for so long.
Yeah.
I could have used a buzzword, AI. That would have been.
Of course, everybody.
You would sound so much cooler then.
Yeah.
Everybody's in on it now.
Yeah. So, and then you're always continuing on it, making the app even better all the time. And so, and it's, you're still chugging along. And I think you've really focused on the fact that you can really upsell that to agents, right? So
absolutely. Yeah. It's so easy to do while you're on the site. And the way it's set up with the subscription is it doesn't cost anything extra to do it on site. Mm-hmm. If you already have a monthly subscription, you can go in and scan a floor plan of every single house, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it comes with everything included.
That's great. Well, and if you want to do that, and you want to do that for a month for actually free, what can you do?
You can go to secondfloorapp.com/upmarket.
Oh,
hey, that's
baby.
us.
Yeah, that's right. You get a free month of service.
Yeah, I did have to think about it for a second.
Yeah. I know. Every time I have to be like...
It's not my website.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Adam. And look, I want to say, I you know how I hate being heartfelt on this podcast, but I do want to shout you out for, we just do the craziest jokes about floor plans whenever we do an ad for you, and you've never once complained or sent me an email, even when I was talking about doing a floor plan on my colon. And you just rolled right with it, and I got to say, I super appreciate it.
There have been so many, the tattoos, grandma, all of them.
We kept waiting for that. Can you guys scale it back a bit? But it just never can. Yeah.
No, they're great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I really appreciate it because we have a lot of fun with those ads, and you're such a good sport about it. So thank you very much, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Mark, obviously, as everyone knows, we're Ventura County, California, Southern California. We dominate. We rep our home. But Southern California is big, and there's a lot of real estate media professionals down there. And we got to, I think, because I follow them on Instagram, and I don't care about other real estate media companies, but these are two of the best. So look, we've got Carol McGuinness of 3D Tangerine in San Diego, California, and the legend, Noel Kleinman, of Noel Kleinman Real Estate Photography in Los Angeles, California. And I think you live in Brentwood, right?
I do.
Yeah, you do. So so Noel, I'm interested in what you have to say, but I'm more interested in what Carol has to say. So Carol, can we get you to do an action item right now?
Let's hear what you got. What are you bringing?
All right. So I actually recently moved to San Diego and I had to restart my business there. And what really helped me was to join a handful of local brokers associations.
Okay.
So the La Jolla Broker Association, which happens to be like 100 years old, go on the microphone when they have the open mic sessions. Just go out there, talk about your business, and just put yourself out there and make connections.
Well, what's an open mic session?
So when you go to these meetings, these weekly meetings, also called caravans, where they feature the new listings for that week. Some of them require you to be an actual member. You have to be an affiliate, have to pay a membership. Others don't. Whatever it is, figure it out and just make sure you're allowed to go on the mic if they allow you that time. You just go out there, very quickly, briefly talk about you and your what kind of service you offer. What can you do different to them? What can you offer? What kind of value offer to them, and make new connections.
Yeah. Great. So the in-person marketing stuff has worked for you.
Yeah, very much.
Nice.
Yeah. No, we do that too. And and there's always at the caravan meeting, but before everyone goes out and tours the houses, it's in ours. They just kind of say, "Oh, anyone have any news?" And so we always try to come up with some news so we can talk about it. And we've been doing this another podcast, a local about Ventura County real estate with the intended audience of realtors. So every time we have a new episode, we go, "Well, we just have a new episode with such and such realtor." So it always gives us something to talk about.
Yeah,
and they go around and introduce everyone, so you get to kind of get in front of people.
Yeah, you do need to be a little creative because they don't want to do the same pitch every week or every other week. So coming up with little stories, funny things that happen to you, things that resonate to their reality and what they go through, and most importantly, maybe give an important piece of information that will be new to them or valuable to them in that quick, cohesive pitch.
That's great.
So they remember you.
All right, Noel, can you top that? I don't think you can.
Well, I don't have an action item. I mean, it is.
Well,
it's more of a mantra.
You're on the freaking action item spectacular.
I am. Well, it's an action item, but I think it's more of a mantra, if you will.
All right.
So I'm a big believer in under-promising and over-delivering.
Okay.
Just always give your client more than they expect. And it's something that I've done from day one, and I continue to do it. And I've mentored a few guys, and I tell them the same thing. Just give your client more than they expect.
Can you give me an example of that?
Love that.
I sometimes get asked to discount. I won't discount. Instead, I will do something like do a floor plan for them instead. I just, I'll do things for them that they're not expecting, whether it's, a different service that I offer that they weren't expecting. I do a few different things.
Can that be like a slippery slope if you work with someone a lot and you're like constantly trying to one up what you did the last time, or no?
No, the way it works is you do it, the first time when you start working with someone, and then they start ordering that product. And so it's not really a slippery slope.
So you don't discount, but you give a little freebie.
I discount, I give a freebie. First
one's free.
First one's free. You give them a taste.
Yeah, exactly.
Give them a taste.
And then they get addicted. And and then they're in rehab.
Yeah,
eventually.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what, Carol, Noel, thanks. That was really great to have you guys come up.
Thanks
Great to be here.
Oh,
of course.
We're super glad to have you on, Noel. Noel's been trying to get on for ages.
Yeah, he has.
I want to be on a normal podcast.
Noel's a loyal listener, so Carol's never heard of the podcast. So, we take all comers here. It's no big deal. All right, thanks again,
Hey,
guys.
I'm new at this.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, right. Well, hey, it's a safe space here for you.
Yeah, you got a lot of episodes to catch up on. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Great people. I love it.
All right, thanks. We've had such a great time with Aereo on this trip to Las Vegas. Matt Michalski, the head of Aereo, gave such a great talk on the state of the industry here at PMRE. And, I had exclusive access. I was going to get this guy to come up to the recording suite and record a little ad for us for Aereo. But, we were supposed to do it, and then I got kind of drunk and forgot. And then the last time I saw Matt, he was putting stacks of Zillow bucks on red on the roulette table at like 3 a.m. So, it just didn't happen. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give a recap of stuff I don't know about. But I do know that Aereo is launching their real estate media branding thing, where basically, look, if you're an Aereo user, you're going to be able to have your branding appear underneath the photos on Zillow of the shoots you've done for your agents. And you're going to be able to have high-res versions of those photos on Zillow. So these are two giant perks that Aereo is rolling out to Aereo users. I don't know the workflow on those. I'm going to look into it, and, we'll talk about it on here. But it's just another example of one of the innovations that Aereo is launching in this industry. So I encourage you to check it out. It's aereo.com, ARYEO.com. Use the code UPMARKET. If you're a new user, you're going to get 15 free bonus listings. Aereo, and thanks to the whole Aereo team. They're so amazing. So great to see everybody. Thank you, Aereo, for your support of our podcast from the very first day. Thank you. All right, we are here with Christopher Weber of Orchestrated Light Photography in Denver, Colorado. Chris, come on, baby. Action item.
All right. Well, it's especially since we're here at PMRE, it might be an obvious one, but come to the conference.
All right.
I've been doing this 13 years, and the first 8, I was isolated on my own, doing my own thing, trying to figure out stuff by myself. I had one other local photographer who had reached out to me. We got together, had some beers. We're still good friends now. But I was invited to come to this conference, actually by Paul Rodman, who had started Tour Buzz. And I knew nothing about it, but he wanted to get together and meet. And so I was like, yeah, I'll show up. I came here. I met a lot of amazing people right off the bat. And I'm still in touch with a lot of them regularly, texting on a daily basis all over the country. And it has just really opened up my excitement for the business. I can bounce ideas off of everybody, new ideas, new directions to take the business. It's just been a game changer. And coming here and I haven't missed one yet. That first one was so inspiring and influential. I did.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
And it's not a one and done thing. You don't just go to PMRE and check it off your list. Like you learn something every time. Brandon reinvents it every year. Like it's always something to pick up.
And regardless of what level you're at, there's always something here for you. For advanced photographers, for people just getting started, he covers a great range of topics. It's speakers. I'm not always inspired by everybody who speaks, but there's always somebody here who gets me pumped up about something that I'm thinking about in my business.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, no, and I think too, if you come with an open mind and you're ready to learn, I think you're just you're gonna be so surprised at what comes out. And this is our third action item spectacular, and it's still great. I mean, it's still like we're learning stuff every single time. I mean, you think, oh, everyone's just gonna say the same thing, but even if they say the same thing, they have a different take on it than somebody else,
right?
Or maybe how you do. So it's just so said it 1,000 times, but it's just so invaluable to be here. So get here.
It is, and and I've been doing workshops now.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So I guess this is the third year in a row that I've done workshops. The first time I did the WTF workshop, amazing. I've done a second one with them in California, and this year I did a video workshop.
The Danny Bertolo, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
and
that was great.
It is great, and it's for somebody like me has never been that excited about video. I'm a photographer, and I've kind of been forced to do video by
feel you, man.
by my clients. Yeah. And so I'm delivering a product, and it's okay. It gets the job done, but I'm not excited about it. And so this was a great workshop to get somebody who's like me, who's just, I feel like I'm winging it, and it just gives me a good basis to.
Now you got a real skill set.
I got a skill set that I can build on, and now, I'm excited after taking this workshop, and so I feel like I'm going to be able to take my video to another level, and the conference hasn't even started, and I'm already pumped up.
There you go. All right, that sounds good. All right, well, thank you so much, and let's party.
Thank you. Absolutely.
All right, and next up we have Krisse and Rich Newport of Southern Real Estate Media in Auburn, Alabama. Krisse, give me one action item.
For us, adding services.
Okay.
We started out with just a drone, and now we do photos, interior, videos, iGuide tours. What else do we do? We just keep adding. Every year we just keep adding, and that has been huge for us because the realtors like that we're kind of a one-stop shop.
Right. Oh,
I think a lot of us, me personally too, started as just a photo person with a camera shooting photos. Oh, I don't do video, I don't do that other stuff. But as soon as you can be that one-stop shop, that's key.
Yeah, well, that's why he decided to hook up with me. Because we did all the stuff and he didn't do anything. So he's like, but it increases your ceiling, right? You just can't truly grow unless you do that, I think.
Yeah, we started out, if I may, we started out with just shooting drones. It was just me shooting drones in the beginning, and we had a realtor ask us, hey, could you shoot interiors? And of course I was like, sure.
With a drone?
Sure. Yeah. Sure, let me talk to my wife.
Who owned a Canon Rebel at the time.
And so you just do it.
So it grew from there. Yeah, we added that, and then we started adding additional media.
Sure.
Which really has helped us get sticky with our customers. Kind of not forcing, but creating a situation where they're reliant on us in our area where we live. So we've started to become a key critical piece of their business as well.
Right.
So if we wouldn't have done that, somebody else would have come in. So we were kind of the first in our area around Auburn to do that.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, Rich, you got a separate one. We get a twofer here with Southern Real Estate Media.
You do get a twofer.
Oh, Rich has got notes. This is going to be a good one.
Well, I do that because I can't remember anything.
Oh, okay.
I have that CRS disease. You'll figure out what that is. I'll tell you later.
That's my action item, is figure out what that is.
I think the other thing that we've learned, and you need to learn as you grow your business, is know your value. Especially let that come out in pricing. I think when you start out, you're really trying to feel out what the pricing for your services are going to be, what the market can bear, and sticking, to your value that you want to bring to yourself and what you think you're bringing. One of the things we've always said is we didn't want to be the cheapest service provider in the area, and we haven't been, and we've stuck to that. And we've been able to increase our pricing structure over the last couple of years because of that, because people have recognized the value that we bring. Mm-hmm. So for somebody that's starting out, I think really understand what that is, what your value is, and try to stick to that.
Great.
Yeah, I like that. And then that bases your prices on the value you're bringing your client, not the amount of time it takes you to shoot. Because the more you do it, the quicker you get. So you're shooting in less time.
Absolutely.
But you're not charging less, right? You're charging more.
Absolutely. Yep. And that goes with being sticky with your customers and with the breadth of services that you have. So the more you have, the more sticky you are with them and the more value you can demand out of the price for that.
I tell you, I love being sticky.
Sticky's good. You like sticky.
So, Krisse, Rich, thank you so much for being on, and happy to hang out with you in Vegas.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
All right, Mark, I think we got a couple studs in here.
Look at these guys.
We got Todd Wasylyshyn of Nanoma Photography.
That would be
Nanaimo Photography on Vancouver Island.
Yes, sir.
In Canada.
Yes.
That is a beautiful spot, man.
So, yeah, and then we got Les Hein of Tampa
Home Photos.
Tampa Home Photos. And guess where this is? Tampa, Florida.
Big surprise.
And so, Todd, you have more hair, so you can go first.
Okay, we're doing action items, right?
Yes, we are. It's the action item spectacular.
Okay, so I attended my first PMRE 2 years ago. I came last year, and I've gained some friends along the way. And my action item for everybody is to find some people in the industry and to make friends with them and share your lives and your businesses with them, because nobody understands real estate photography like another real estate photographer. And so when you can buddy up with somebody and you can share some techniques and share some practices and share some of your experiences and complain about realtors together, it makes a lifelong bond. And I've learned so much. I go to the workshops at PMRE and I learn things from the professionals, but I also learn a ton from my PMRE buddies. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's what I've always been saying. It's just like the best part about this is actually the camaraderie and talking. And we were just, this is the first night we all arrived, or some of us, but, it was just a bunch of people out in the bar talking. And I mean, Les and I just talked business for like half an hour. And it was just like, man, cool. We got some good nuggets and convinced him to start using an iPhone on video. It's really, really exciting. So Les, is that your action item? Or what do you got?
Yes, he stole mine, but that's okay. I'm a real estate photographer. I can talk about real estate photography all day long. Yeah. But for me, it is the nuggets that can be shared here are amazing. We have people that are in the trenches every day, and they understand what we go through. So being able to share that and be able to give info, because I'm the baby of probably all of everyone here at the table. And I am more listening. I am wanting to soak everything in. And PMRE is one of those conferences that I am overwhelmed in a great way. It's one of the best conferences that I know that I can get information and provide information and make friends. And to be able to do these workshops, which you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not doing a workshop while you're here.
I've never done one.
Huh. I guess we're blowing it then, yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, well, so what's your action item then? You're just talking about how great PMRE is.
It is. For me, I'm an overthinker. I'm a perfectionist and an overthinker. And with this video masterclass that I did today, KISS principle, keep it stupidly simple.
There you go.
It makes my life a lot easier.
Good one.
I like it.
I love kissing.
Oh, there's so many jokes there. I'm going to shut up right now.
Unless that was the joke. Oh. Yes, the punchline doesn't need a punchline.
Those are good, guys. I like those. Like we get stuck, I think, like in a bubble, like geographically, but also like in our head, like what we're doing every day, right? You're like, this is the way I do it. This is what we do. This is the best way to do it. But when you talk to other people, like we've shared stuff, we've helped other people. But Reed and I have learned a ton just being here too, and change the way we do business, change the equipment, change what we do.
And you get the advantage being you're on the podcast, you have a mini PMRE every week because you are hosting people to come in and talk about a certain subject, growing the business in a certain way that you may not have thought of. I listen to your podcast every time, and yes, I'm going to plug you. But
on our own podcast,
I'm gathering nuggets I'm writing notes every once in a while, and seeing what I can implement, see if it makes sense for me. For me, this video class that I just did, I think I can reduce my video on time in the house by 40%. If I can reduce that and reduce what I'm doing, I can do more shoots, which makes me more money.
Yeah, you just paid just that one thing alone. You just paid for this whole trip. Yeah,
absolutely.
Everything about it. All right. Well, thank you guys. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Right.
You're welcome.
Mark, we got one more to walk the gauntlet here. Ooh, yeah. We got Leroy Schulz of Send Media in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Leroy, give me an action item. Give me an action item.
Hey, can I give you two?
The double action item?
Yeah.
We'll allow it.
Okay. So I did the video workshop again today.
Okay.
And, one of the takeaways there is something that's been part of my life as a former IT consultant, and that is systematize.
Oh.
So
we had a whole episode about that.
We like that one.
Yeah. Mark had that word. I was like, that's not a word. And he's like, no, it is.
So you know how things are cumulative, right? If there's something that you spend 15 minutes a day doing, and there's a better, smarter way of doing it, that means maybe you can spend 5 minutes a day doing it, spend that couple of hours, however long it is, to systematize that so that you're saving that 10 minutes every day. And over the course of a week, a month, a year, 10 years, you got a lot more time on your hands to do the things that are important, right? And that was one of the takeaways from the video workshop. It's like, don't take a 2-minute video shot when a 2-second video shot will suffice.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so that's one.
Yeah. Okay.
Second one, and this is particularly for people at PMRE, but I think it extends to life in general, is go say hi to a stranger.
Oh.
At the workshop, I said hi to this young guy. He's 18 years old. He's been in real estate media doing both photography and video since June, and he's at PMRE.
Wow.
How cool is that?
Going all in.
Yeah.
He seemed to really appreciate that I went up and introduced myself to him and just like, hey, we haven't met. And like, I'm so excited for this guy's path. And we went out for dinner and we just came back, and the Uber driver was a guy from Cuba, and Spanish was my first language, and started talking to him. The guy just seemed like ecstatic that here's this 6'3" white guy talking Spanish to him.
He's probably talking about you right now.
Right? Yeah, exactly. He's probably on a podcast talking about like this incredibly handsome bald guy. Yeah. So, I think those little things, just cause positive ripples, right? Like saying hi to people. And last year was my first year at PMRE in person. I did the online before. And everyone is so friendly. Like, Todd, we know each other from the iGuide forums. And it turns out he's from the same city that I was from originally. And it turns out that I went to school with his niece, I think. Wasylyshyn, by the way, is how you pronounce that.
That's good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
When I was like 18 years old, like, the world is small. We're all interconnected, and go say hi to somebody that you haven't met, especially those of you that are here at PMRE.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Leroy.
You bet.
Appreciate it. All right, Mark, are you ready for a little local flavor?
Ooh, that sounds juicy.
Oh, yeah, it does. Well, look, we have Kelly and Brian Clark of Local Flavor Films out of Atlanta, Georgia. So, Kelly, I think ladies first. You got an action item for us?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So my action item, I think, is to know your worth.
Oh, good
it's a biggie. No freebies. We don't give away freebies. We don't do discounts.
You don't ever do a discount?
Not really, unless it's somebody we've been working with we've been doing this for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we just know what it takes to deliver the world-class content that we're delivering. So we just really don't deviate from that. It's not to say that we don't get the request to do it.
Well, yeah.
There's always going to be, exactly. There's always going to be somebody asking for a discount, but we just won't do it. We stick to our guns.
Wow.
I give them our value proposition, and it's kind of a take it or leave it, and it works for us because then we're not devaluing our content, and that's just a big thing to us. We pour everything that we've got into what we do, so we want to make sure that we're getting compensated for it.
Nice. Well, are you? And is it just the two of you, or you have a team?
We have a team. Brian and I run it, and we've got contractors out in the field.
Like how many people?
We've got 8 total on our team.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Good for you,
guys.
yeah.
That's great.
Thanks.
That's fantastic. Are either of you shooting at all?
Yeah, I still shoot for sure. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll take the bigger projects, and along with maybe a video guy, we kind of split it up on some of the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
And then we've got 3 others, so myself and 4 other shooters, and then we've got a social media person, and then a VA, and of course editing.
Yeah, right, of course. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, good. Okay, Brian, action item.
Okay.
Do it, buddy.
All right, here we go. So let's see. During the slow season,
we're coming up on slow season.
We're coming up on slow season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We are coming up on the slow season. So during the slow season, I highly recommend, if you have not listened to all the podcasts, all the Upmarket podcasts, go back and start from day one.
Wait, I didn't tell him to say that.
No, let me tell you a little story.
I didn't tell him to. I just paid him $100.
He means this because I hear it at night.
So we discovered Upmarket podcast when Zillow bought Aeon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we were freaking out. We've been with Aeon for about a year.
Yeah.
Freaking out. We're like, Google.
Yeah.
And who comes up? These 2 gentlemen right here. So it started listening to that episode, right? And I'm like, oh man, these guys are pretty cool. They get some good content. So I was like, let me go listen to another episode. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm one of those guys, like, I like to go back to the inaugural, right?
Yeah.
So I went back to episode 1.
Oh, you did?
Oh, nice.
I listened to every single one all the way through. And then now it's like Christmas morning every time they come out.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It really is.
The worst Christmas of all time.
I will say there are a nugget or 5 or 10 in every episode. So do yourself a favor and listen to every single one if you have not done that.
Love this guy.
I mean, this guy's amazing. I never even met him until 5 minutes ago. Yeah. I'll lick that flavor anytime.
We didn't know we were sitting across from us.
Oh my God.
We got a super fan in the building here.
It's worth it. That's
no,
what I'm
I appreciate it. Well, and honestly, I think it really does. Well, does it warm our heart? I mean, it kind of does. I hate to say something like that, but that makes it all worthwhile. Well, no, but I feel like I think I said it earlier. I can't remember if I said it on podcast or not, but like if Mark and I didn't make any money from this or anything else, this podcast would still be worth it for us to do because it allows us the opportunity to sit down, talk together. We talk about our business and we're always learning something from each other, like every episode. And I think, and we're coming at it from the perspective of the real estate media professionals. And so, our journey is your journey. And so I think that's what it is. And so I really appreciate you saying that because we really just want to be our authentic selves. And the fact that it resonates with however few people it does it still really means
it's
a
more
lot.
than a few.
Yeah. Well, I know. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, you guys have been awesome. And, we share it when we can is letting people know, not competitors in our own market necessarily.
Don't let Cheyenne listen to it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys. That was awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming
Thanks
up.
for having us on.
You get an extra drink and an extra koozie.
Yes.
All right. Thanks,
Good
guys.
boy, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, we've been doing a lot of action items this year since last year, PMRE, since PMRE, and we've had a sponsor that whole time, PixlCRM, the official sponsor of the Upmarket action items. So if we're doing an action item spectacular, we better get the damn action item sponsor on here. So we got Pete Stagl here from PixlCRM, and Pete, give me the quick elevator pitch, because you're going to do it better than Mark and I do. What's the pitch on what PixlCRM is?
So PixlCRM is the all-in-one platform that you guys need to help market your business.
Okay.
So what I like to say is that it's to help you attract new clients, to retain the current clients you have, and to grow your business. If you do random acts of marketing,
yeah, there you go.
You're not going to be successful. You can't just go off and do a email campaign or a office presentation and then just leave it there. You need to put your follow-up. You need to do your continuous automated systems that once you do this, these actions kick off. Yeah. And that's what PixlCRM is really designed to do.
Yeah, and I think, we've used it for a variety of things, and I think, we still are dipping the toe in, and I think, this spring and summer, we're really going to get into.
We're just really, you should do it here in the slow time, not in the spring and summer where it's a busy time.
Agreed. I'm going to re-record that stinger and say that we're going to have the winter of PixlCRM. So
the winter is coming.
Yes, exactly. So look, we can vouch for it. PixlCRM is great, and so we encourage everyone to go to PixlCRM.com. And what is it? We have an Upmarket code, right?
You do. Go to PixlCRM.com/Upmarket, and you'll get a free month.
Oh, baby. Love it.
Try us out, get your systems in place, and just start scaling.
All right.
Hey, Pete. It sounds like you're rolling out a bunch of new stuff, too, that we're excited to jump into.
A ton of new stuff. Yeah. We've got a lot of training, a lot of systems and processes that you'll be able to just plug and play into your business rather than just being a bunch of tools that you have. We'll have the actual processes that you can actually just kind of plug into your business.
Sweet. Right on. Hey, Pete, thanks for your support for the podcast over the last year, and we're excited to see you grow, and thanks for doing the good work at PixlCRM. And thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
You got it. Mark, it's just an endless supply of amazing people.
Where do these people come from?
I don't know. Well, I know where these two come from. But we have Romy Radique of Rare Photography. It's so rare I could almost forgot the name in New York City, in New York State, and then we have Scott Brammer of Scott Brammer Photo in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada. Scott. Here's the thing. I want you to go first because we've been partnering with iGuide on all these episodes for the Road to PMRE, and now we're at the Action Item Spectacular. And partnering with that, we had a big giveaway, and it was very exciting. A lot of people entered, and there was a camera and a couple free trips to PMRE, and you won one.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh man, how's that been?
It's been great. I just arrived today. They took care of hotel, airfare, transportation.
Oh, I wish I had one.
I know.
Would you be here without that or no? You were going to come?
I was this is my the third year in Vegas, and I did the
online,
virtual
the
beforehand.
COVID year, yeah.
And so I had everything booked, so they kind of took care of it all.
Yeah, well, that was the nice thing is even if you had booked it, they would just reimburse you. And so, I got so good. I love those guys.
No, it was great.
Okay, so you came all this way, but did you come with an action item? That's the big thing.
You kind of forced this on me. So I have, and I was going to say, come to PMRE.
Right.
But you told me I couldn't say that.
Well, you can say whatever you want. I just said someone else already said it. That's all.
What I would say is when you come to PMRE, listen and do some of the things that you hear about. My first year here, I was skeptical about iGuide. I went to their lunch and learn and loved the product. I was shooting with Matterport previously. Yeah, I switched and haven't looked back. It was such a great thing. So try new things.
There you go.
Try new things.
I like that.
And follow through.
So come to PMRE open-minded, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of the theme. That's the theme of this show, I think.
I think it is.
Yeah. Well, and we have all these people coming on, and we open our minds to what they have to say, and it's just like that. You let it in, man, and it's like, man, we're learning so much. So.
Yeah. Like last year, there was a few things that I really wanted to try, and I didn't, and now I regret it. So hopefully we'll talk about that more in some of the sessions, and it'll convince me to probably try that, like virtual assistants. Sort of thing.
There you go.
But
that's a good one.
Trying new things, and it'll just help your business.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, Romy.
All right, action item.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's
welcome.
my first time and
Yeah,
already.
well, look, we've been
barely
friends
an hour here and already on a podcast.
Well, we've been friends for a long time, so it's only fitting that you're here.
Okay,
perfect. Welcome to the big leagues.
So action item, So what for me, it's really, adapt. Adapt to the changing needs of your clients. I'm again, as you said, I'm doing business in New York City. I always feel like New York City is so fast. Sometimes you start running after things, and then I had clients asking me, "Oh, can you do virtual staging? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And then, if it's up your alley, try and look into it, and try if you want to be a one-stop shop for your clients. Try and find people who can help you with it. Look for somebody to add to your team, and to be able to service your clients and give them what they need. And stay on top of things. And
you want to be able to say yes to things, right?
Exactly, but not for the sake of giving less quality. You always want to give the quality that you want to give. So that's the important thing. Don't compromise on quality. Do your research, look for the right people if you can't do it yourself. And then, once you're ready to offer that product or that additional service, then do it. Don't do it before. Do it when you're ready and, when you think exactly. Do a lot of research, but be always ready to adapt because the environment is always changing,
Love
the
it.
landscape.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to adapt and let's take a little break and maybe we'll have some more people on.
Another drink.
Hey, you know what, Scott Romy, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Appreciate you coming up. Yeah. Mark, if I can remember all this, I think we're going to be in good shape. So here we go. So now we got lanyards, so it's a little easier. So we have Andreas Inga of the Snap Market, and he's out of Queens, New York, and we got Austin Harley. I have no idea what your company is.
SoCo Home Photography.
SoCo Home Photography, and it's Denver, Colorado.
And the Springs.
What?
And the Colorado Springs.
And the Springs.
Yeah.
Do you just call it the Springs?
Yeah. We all call it the Springs.
Didn't know that.
Oh, but that's like an hour and a half?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I started my business there 9 years ago, and so I still go there for free all the time.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay, well, why don't, because you've been talking, so why don't you give your action item first there, Austin?
Okay. Awesome. I feel like in the 9 years of my business, the one thing I've learned and that my coaches scream at me every year and I scream at myself every year is raise your prices.
Oh, nice.
That's
smart.
That's smart. Almost everyone is worth it.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think everyone, we got a peanut gallery here. We got a few people in the room who are not on the pod and they're all nodding in agreement. It's like, raise those
But it always feels like you're always peaked out. Oh, we maxed out. We can't go any higher.
No,
every year, right?
Always go higher.
Always.
Yeah. Well, and every time we've raised prices, we've gotten more clients.
You open yourself up. We were at the luxury market, me and someone offset, the last couple days, and you wouldn't believe the
luxury.
number of people.
What the luxury workshop? Yeah. At PMRE here.
In the last 2 days, like you wouldn't believe, like raising your prices opens you up to new clientele that you'd much rather work with than someone that wants to pay you $50 to go shoot like a trap house.
Sorry. I want it.
Been there. There's a lot of trap houses in New York.
Good old trap houses.
I don't know. There's a lot of things I won't do for $50.
But there's a lot he will.
Okay. So Andreas, come on.
Yes.
What's our Queens, New York action item here?
I feel like for me, being in New York, I feel like what's really helped me is consultations. Call more of your clients after their shoots or before their shoots to really upsell them. So what I've been doing is
how do you upsell after?
After is you tell them like, hey, well, here's the thing. In New York, everybody wants to be a celebrity, right? Okay. So Ryan Serhant is in New York. You want to tell them, hey, get on camera, on video. That's an upsell of $200 for us. Right. So call them, tell them, the possibilities they can have with video. I think for me right now, video has been exploding. So telling them, get on camera, be that celebrity in your town, in your niche. And that's a good way to add $600,000 to your packages. So that's been working for me. I've been adding a lot more videos to our clients. Hey, you booked a photo shoot. This property's worth, $800K, 1.2 mil. Why not add some video, showcase what your,
what you could do for your client, for the next client. Like you always say in your podcast, it's you're not selling the property, you're selling the agent.
There you go.
So you got to really bring them into video.
Yeah. Austin, you're chopped liver here. Andreas, you're my man.
Yeah,
you're my man. I love it when I get quoted back. That's great, man. Thanks.
Those were juicy,
thanks
guys.
for
That
being
was
a
awesome.
listener. I appreciate it, Andreas. Austin,
of course.
next year I'm going to say thanks for being a listener.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
These small tips help a long way, especially when you're starting out.
Yeah.
You need all the tips you can get so you can, not waste so much time on making mistakes and just speed the process
No,
up.
these action item spectaculars are the best episodes because it's actually, Mark and I are, whatever. We know a little bit, but everyone else collectively knows way more than we do. And so when they come in and share more, man, it's so good. We've had so many good ones in the last couple of days. So thanks, guys, for coming on. Of
course.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Guys rocked it. Thank you.
All right, Mark. Another action item spectacular episode has come to a close. Now we are, full disclosure. It is now, PMRE is now over. We recorded all the action items before the conference started. And now it is the Friday night after the conference. And I think I maybe you don't, but I certainly have Vegas voice.
Yeah, I was going to say, people may notice a different view and a different sound.
Well,
like a little
I was
croaky.
like, how many, it was a different view. Yeah, we have a different room than we had if you're watching on the YouTube channel. And by the way, our final segment here is co-sponsored by Tums.
It is, yes.
But I was kind of musing with people today. I was like, how many consecutive days can I be hungover? And I think we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah. 5 is the record so far. Yeah, we'll break it tomorrow.
Because the night is still young. I'm sure you do too, Mark, but I certainly have some reflections. I mean, I think this was, the move to the Palms was extraordinary. This place is so great. The production value was amped up even more. The programming was spectacular, especially today. Today was that optional day 3.
Yeah.
And it was Alexandria Abrami and Brandon Barre, Emma Peter, and Chris Stacy and Tim Smith. I mean, I think today was the, pound for pound, the best day of all the 4 PMREs that we've been to.
Yeah, everyone was, all the heavy hitters were up there, and to have them all at the panel at the end just to be free.
It was spectacular. And there were so many other great presentations on the first 2 days as well. It was just, I think, just a smashing success. And I feel like you probably feel this too. And I think we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but this was the year over any of the other years where I think we had a lot of people coming up to us about the podcast.
Yeah. So many.
Yeah. And, it was like, and I guess this is just a way of saying we genuinely appreciate all the people that came up to us, had kind words about the podcast, and, that it made them feel like less alone out there, because as we've talked about so many times, this can be a lonely business.
100%. Yeah. We always leave, and especially this year, just leave feeling like so much gratification for the industry, and just well, what we're doing, people are listening to, and they're making decisions in their business. They're merging their businesses. I merged with my competitor because of you guys. And I'm like, is it going? Oh, it's amazing. And thank you. And it was just holy cow.
It's crazy. No, literally, you have people come up to you, oh, this podcast changed my life. And you're like, okay, you need to really reevaluate things if that's the case. But it's true. I mean, people, if you see our story and that it's worked out so well, and then say, hey, maybe that can work for you, I think that's super powerful. And that's not, I hope no one takes that as a flex or a brag. It's just like a genuine, heartfelt appreciation of being able to, reflect that to people and have them see that.
We hope there's people out there listening, but when you see them in the flesh and you shake their hand and they're just, it's awesome.
And I think it also goes to show that even if you don't have your own real estate media podcast, that if you come to PMRE, it is all about connection and this human connection with people who are in the same boat that you are. It is so powerful. And I think we saw so many first-time people, and they're just like, I'm coming back next year. I mean, it's just like, and obviously we're shills for PMRE, but it's just the best.
It's the place. Yeah. We just said goodbye to a bunch of people on the last afternoon. Oh, definitely see you guys next year. And everyone's just all in.
Yeah. And I think, truly, even outside of business, this is, to me, one of the most fun weeks of the entire year, just even on a personal level.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so much fun. And we learned so much. I have some real ideas about our video products and, what we can do. And it's really just been so eye-opening. And I think we're also coming out of here energized, having a lot of ideas for the next year for this podcast, what we can talk about, what we can do, how we can grow this, and how we can, help this industry even more.
Yeah,
and
how we can pump up more value and bring more episodes. And we have some cool ideas that are kind of marinating.
I know sitting here in the moment, this was like such a good Action Item Spectacular, which is hands down my favorite episode of the year each year.
It's fun. Yeah. There was a lot of just genuine, good. I mean, it was really fun. People in the moment, and we had multiple people on, obviously. And just the interaction between people was really fun.
Yeah. It was just super fun. And this is such a great community. And one of the things I want to note, and it really just didn't come up, is obviously, the last couple of weeks in particular, whatever side of the spectrum we're on, it's been a upheaval in terms of, politics and all that stuff, but it was just not in the air. And I know I have opinions about it. I know other people have different opinions, whatever. It did not even matter. And that was beautiful. It was really a sign that there are kind of still some pure things where we can just come together and help each other regardless of our, religions, races, political affiliations, any of that stuff. And it was really, really beautiful.
Yeah, it was almost like a nice escape from that, a break from that's just been bombarding the media, and just to come here and I didn't really even discuss it with anybody. No. It was just we're just focused on what we're here to do, and that's all we needed.
Yeah, yeah, and that was the vibe, and the new venue just so great, and so I think really I don't know what else to say about it other than I think. On behalf of the community, I think, we're in this position and we can say, thank you to Brandon and Jody Cooper.
Whew, they're insane. Yeah. I mean, their attention to detail is amazing, but the execution, the way they pull things off and just think things through.
And I think they're incredibly thoughtful and have our industry's best interests at heart, and just all they want to do is lift up people and lift up our industry. And it just shows in this conference. And year after year, it just keeps getting better, and it's really a testament to their hard work and the fact that then, that breeds other people wanting to work hard with them as well. And I know Devin Pastorius did so much work on the visuals and the aesthetics and the kind of the creative direction, and then all the speakers and the podcast affiliates and everyone. It was just it on down the line. It just keeps getting better and better and better.
And I think too. Speaking from a sponsor point of view and speaking with all the other vendors and sponsors, if you'd been before at the South Point, it was the showroom was great, but all the vendors were crammed in there too, and it never seemed to kind of work that well. But the way they separated that out this year in the venue they had for us, they called it, I think we were talking about it as Vendor Alley, and I was picturing a hallway with tables, but this was a next level space that was just perfect for what we needed.
It was this little speakeasy space called Green Street here at Palms. And you know what? Just come next year. You can experience Green Street. I mean, it's super cool. Going to be great. Yeah. And so I think we'll wrap it up here. And I think as always, it's just about the listeners. And thank you for listening. Thank you to our sponsors. We hung out with so many of our sponsors, and obviously I know some of them came on the podcast to do the ads, and it's without the listeners, without our sponsors, what would we have? And we just appreciate all the support from everyone. And we're going to be here for you guys as long as we can. And, we got no plans to stop this. Not at all.
No, thanks for everyone who came on and gave an action item. I mean, that was really cool. We got a list of people already. Man, I wanted to give one. And we just literally ran out of time and space. But it's super fun for people to be able to get on the podcast that they get so much out of. So that was fun.
For sure. All right. Well, hopefully everyone got home safe. And you know what? Not only will we see you next week with a new podcast, but we're going to see you next year here at Palms at PMRE 2025.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios. This episode was produced by Chelsea Froelich and edited by Bethany Diedrich. Thank you so much for listening, and we really hope you listen to the next one too. In the meantime, our wish for you is to not have to shoot any Friday night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.